Welcome to this new Addon Spotlight. In this Addon Spotlight we're gonna look at the Airbus H135 Helicopter. We already looked at this helicopter a few times. Those were, I would say, the development versions. But now it's version 1.0, we can say it's a stable version. So directly after version 1.0 was released, a small update was being released to fix the middle doors being overlapping. So it was out pretty soon, so that's nice. In addition to that, in version 1.0 there are several enhancements being made, right? First of all, there were fixes for simulator update number 4, which has been released earlier this week. There have been some changes in the control, as you can see. Also, the alt and heading modes for the autopilot are corrected now. Flight mode and ACPC are no longer coupled, so they're decoupled from each other. Beeps have been added and the sound has been updated. In addition to that, some additions have been made to the, I would say, flying and of the aircraft, but also some options like the torque and rotor trim. They've now been removed because they are not realistic features. So that's a decision which they made. I think it's a good call. In addition to that, there are some, I would say, enhancements being made to the control of the aircraft, like the knobs have been changed. The tablet has been changed a bit. Several other features, I'm not gonna go to all them because simply the list is too long, right? They added many hotkeys also, and as bonus, they updated all deliveries to 8K for the police, Navy, SAMU, and the Sky Health. Partially fixed for the VR focus zoom, so probably that's being updated in future versions. And if you want, you can enable the GTN 750 and all the other maps if you want. So let's jump to a flight simulator. Here it is. The helicopter is already loaded with a custom add-on. All the default add-ons can be recognized like this. They all have the logo of the High Performance Group, which is the development group behind this helicopter. And you can see multiple helicopters are there, including also a Bluebird and the Airbus. I think the Bluebird was the one which won the, I would say, election which they had. I thought I also saw the this one, the other Airbus, and the Hex 101. And here I've got also another livery, which is the Iris Coast Iris Coast 117. Sorry. So now we're here. Let's select a helicopter which we're gonna use. I think this one is nice. So we're taking off from Dubai International Airport. It's already, I would say, starting to be evening, or it's already, I would say, dark. I don't know. We will see. And then we're gonna try to fly a bit with the helicopter. Also have a look at the details, at some screenshots, etc. from the helicopter to see how they look like. It's great to see that they released version 1.1. If you look at the time it took for them to release the first development versions and then up to version 1.1, I think it was a really amazing job which they did. The helicopter was already pretty stable in the early development stages. I think it was one of it still is one of my favorite vehicles to fly with. So let's have a look at how version 1.1 looks. I'm really curious. As you see, the Airbus H135 was previously known as the Eurocopter C135. It's used for corporate transport. But there are multiple add-ons available, right? There's also the High Performance Group YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/hypetrain. Have a look at that. And in addition to that, of course, share your feedback about this helicopter by joining that Discord channel. They've got a large Discord channel where they're posting all kind of information. Really useful. Also, there's you can ask questions. Okay, it's already a little bit dark. So let me see in that case if we can change it a bit. Where is it? Always looking for the button, but I think I've hidden this button because weather is on, weather is off, as you can see. That's due to the complexity settings. Well, never mind, not a real big issue. So the first thing which is different is this one, right? You can see the message clear. Okay, hey, the collective control is not ready, so it informs you about it. Now it's ready. You can see the Autopilot. The Autopilot has now different buttons compared to the initial versions. They can raise, lower, left and right. You've got these options, and also these buttons. So let's have a look at what they will do. In addition to that, there are now preset options, although I think that they were already part of it. You can simply say cooled and dark, which means you need to start the aircraft or the helicopter from scratch. You've got it ready for takeoff, as it currently is, and you've got the shutdown engines, which will shut down the engines. This panel also being updated. You can now see some values here, which is nice. So let's have a look at the other screens. Not so many changes here as far as I can see. The D map, digital map, really cool to see that they included this piece. And you see the EFB functionality. To use the EFB functionality, you need to install some custom software, some I would say another add-on, and then you can simply load web pages in it. Also pretty cool. So let's go to the F&D view, which is the same as being shown here. Or in that case, we don't need the same view, right? So let's go to the VMS view. On that, you've got the bottom options to cycle between the different views. So for now we will leave it like this. Fine. And then we can make sure that the engines are ready. Right, to see if the engines are ready, you can go to either the D-map, or was it? You need to go to this one. It hasn't got a label, or it has a label, but not when selected. It's called VMS. So what we need to do is scroll. Now the engines are ready. So you see the idle being removed from there. Then we're going to switch to the MEF mode again. And then it's time to look from the outside a bit, although I don't think that there are a lot of changes there, and it might be pretty hard to see because we're, I would say, flying in the evening, so it does make a lot of sense of looking at that. So let's go full throttle. Let's fly to that big building. Let's push the stick a little bit forward. And then let's fly. If you're wondering why Dubai looks so great, it's because I installed another add-on. Really nice one. Also, again, from FlightSim.2. If you don't know the website, then it's definitely the go-to site to get some content. It contains, I would say, almost everything is free. Everything is being created by the community, and most of the content is really from a high quality, which is also important. Be aware that some of them are of the add-ons are based on Google Maps, and they could have an impact on the performance, like the frames per second, once added to Flight Simulator. So be aware of that. Test it correctly if they work for you. So let's switch on the Autopilot, right? So we can do that easily. Autopilot flying. We can set the heading or the navigation, but we didn't have any navigation tuned. But for example, we can. Whoa, there we go. It looks really cool, right? The green view. Let me zoom out and make sure that we're not too low. So we'll switch on the alt, on the altimeter. And using these buttons we can increase the altitude, as you can see. Race doesn't do many things. So the autopilot is flying, nice, and we can set the we can turn left or right using these buttons also.
Dubai Tower Delta, Hotel Echo Charlie Bravo, frequency change.
Then the other thing I'm wondering is how you set the navigation. Oh, we'll figure it out later on. So the GTC one, as you can see, you can't activate it because we're flying too fast. The only thing I'm missing here is the I would say option to see if you're able to switch on the GTC, yes or no, because it was very useful in previous versions. So let's turn a bit with the helicopter. For some reason it doesn't like it, so let's switch off the autopilot for some time, and also decrease the speed a bit. Because if you decrease the speed, then this button should become white normally, like now, and now we can activate it. So let's see what we can do with this, with these buttons, because I'm unfamiliar with these ones, as I already mentioned. Oh, you can use them in this GTC mode. We also go down then. This is for the altitude, as you can see, and this is for the I think it's for the GTC. Let's check later on. Looks like still. Maybe it's because this button is on. I'm not sure what this button is, so if you know what this button is, or what the raise and lower do, let me know, because I'm really curious about that. Now we're, I would say, not airborne, but we're, I would say, hovering. Let's have a look at the other tools. The other tools can be found here, right? So here you can find the flight plan, the procedures, the waypoint info, the nearest airport, for example. Nearest airport. This, and you can set a direct flight to it. You can activate it. Once you've done that, you will have the information here on the display. So this really helps you to, I would say, navigate easily, which is sometimes harder in let's say helicopters. You can see that they did a lot of work on the buttons here. Not all buttons are working, but it looks really impressive how they model this. Other options are currently not used a lot. You can switch on the VR, but the VR doesn't make any sense for helicopters, but that's due to the fact that it simply is using the same mechanism, right? As you can see, when switching to home, you have the same options as on the tablet on the right side. You can go to the aircraft config, do something with the doors, do something with the rotor blade. Rotor blade installed. Navigation, as we already mentioned, you can look at the radio options. Pressing home again. Press home again here. Fly tools, it has all the other options which we just discussed, the flight plan, the timers, the PFD settings. PFD settings are limited, but enough. So I would say I'm really impressed again about this version 1.1. It's nice to fly with. Probably need to find out a little bit more about the other numbers or other buttons like the up and down, because that's a little bit unclear for me. But again, if you want to fly a helicopter, this is definitely the one which you should try, because it's really, really great. And the other nice thing, it's for free. So go to Simbrief, no, not Simbrief guys, come on, go to simflight.to and download your copy and start trying it out now. Here ends this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.